welcome to Guest. I'm Lexi, and on this channel I cover topics surrounding budgeting, planning, goal setting, all that good stuff. And today's video is going to be my last video in my 2025 goals series, in which I take you through all of my goals for 2025. So I basically do one life area per video, and so today for our last video we're going to be talking about relationships. So if you haven't seen any of my previous goal videos, I basically break my goals down into different timelines. So 1 month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, and then 1 year, 3 years, and then lifetime. So relationship is the category that comes last in my goal setting framework. I'll do a whole video about that, so if you're interested in because right now I've just been doing focusing on one goal, but I do a full video presenting like my framework, how I use it, etc. So if you're interested in that, then please subscribe. In my framework, relationship is the last category because I feel like it's also one that's kind of not the least in your control, because you don't necessarily have too much control over other things, but I feel like relationships by definition are between you and another person, and you cannot control other people. So I think like it's good to know kind of what you want and what you want to focus on, but ultimately it's not entirely up to you, and I don't think you should be too attached to relationship goals because it's not always within your control. And yeah, I just think it has the potential to make you very unhappy if you have a certain expectation, especially I'm talking to women out there, if you have biological timeline, etc. If it doesn't happen the way you envision it, I just hope you're not disappointed. Like, I just wouldn't want anyone to be disappointed because they have not necessarily unrealistic expectations, but just they're too attached to someone that isn't to a goal and not to like the reality of their life, and they're seeing the disappointment instead of what is positive. So yeah, I do feel like relationships, like you can have goals, of course you can have goals, relationship goals, but it's always something that's going to be involving you and another person. And so although of course with your health and stuff, like there are a lot of things that you don't control, I feel like in relationships specifically you're setting goals that don't just involve you. So that's usually why I put it at the end, and also because I feel like for a lot of relationships you don't really need goals. Like for example, I want to be close to my family, like we are a rather close-knit family, and that's those those bonds are important to me and I want to maintain them. But it's not like it's not like there are specific actions I need to take. Like it's not like I tell myself, okay, I have to call my mom at least once a week in order to maintain that relationship, because it's something that I do naturally. So that's why I think it's kind of like my mindset goals. It's kind of like a focus. For example, a focus of meeting new people, a focus of trying to find a partner if you want a partner. Like I feel like it's more of a focus and not so much like an action plan like some goals can be. So I want to have, obviously, be close with my family. I've a good circle of close friends. I'm not someone who needs like a huge circle of friends, but I do want my close circle of friends to be good friends. So today I do have a good circle of friends. I do have good friends, but I feel like I'm ready to expand it a little bit more. Like they're friends, like the latest friends, real friends that I've made, because of course I have people I'm friendly with, I'm on friendly terms with, but I wouldn't consider them close friends just yet. the really close friends that I have are all people, like the latest close friends that I've made are all people I've met during business school. Since then, I do have, colleagues or people that I'm very friendly with, but that I would consider friends, but not close friends. So I don't know if the distinction is clear, but yeah, like in my close circle of friends, I would count less than 10 people, and in my friend circle, like 20, 30 people probably. But I would like more, maybe one or two more close friends, or just a little bit more variety, because out of my close circle of friends, it's only like three circles within, like, out of my close friends, they kind of all belong to three circles, and like a good chunk make up one circle. And so I just would like to have a little bit more different circles or different people that I'm close with, but that aren't necessarily all part of the same friend group. That's what I mean. So I think, yeah, I'm at a point in my life where I do have time for one or two more close friends. So there's that. I do want to build my own family. So I'll distinguish that by saying my family. So with a partner, with one or two kids, and with pets. I'm someone who always grew up with pets, cats, dogs, rabbits, like anything. Honestly, you name it, and we've probably had it at some point. I have a cat right now that I got a couple years ago now. She's 2 years old now, and I love her. So yeah, I don't necessarily want to have a ton of pets at the same time, but always having one or two pets, like a dog, a cat, for me, is really something I like. So that is, a goal, a relationship goal. So I've talked about close friends, family. I definitely want to have kids, but not at any cost. So to explain to you, if you haven't watched my health goals video or my channel intro video, you probably don't know that 2 years ago I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, and that has made me rethink a lot of things in my life. My career was a big one, but also what I wanted in terms of having a family or not was also something I did think about, because while anyone, like, no one knows, like, no one has any guarantee of how they're going to be in 20 years, if they're going to be sick, if they're going to be in a wheelchair, if they're going to have any kind of problem, but when you have a chronic disease, like, it's already a reality for you. Like, you may never have any issues whatsoever down the line, but you are made aware of the fact that you are a fragile human being and that issues could arise, and so you do, I do believe that most people don't really think about, oh my gosh, if I have kids, what happens if I end up in a wheelchair in 20 years? And that's very normal to do. But when you have a disease like MS, at least I did. I can only speak for myself, of course. I did think about those things. Okay, I want kids, but what happens? Like, am I ready to have them? Even though maybe there's like a 0.00001% chance that I end up blind or I end up in a wheelchair. What then? So there was that. There's also the consideration that while MS is not hereditary per se, there is a genetic component. So I mean, what parent would want to ever transmit a disease, pass on a disease to a child? Like, obviously, I don't think anyone ever would. And then also with some treatments, you can fall pregnant, some you cannot. So, I did have to think about whether or not I wanted kids, and I did come to the conclusion that I do want kids. Just I want them in the right circumstances, meaning I don't think I would choose to have kids, at least as of today, I wouldn't choose to have kids if I didn't have a caring, supportive partner to do it with. So and so I have been single for the past couple of years because, well, one, I've been going through the worst years of my life, and I really did not have any energy and even want, desire, and just like obviously I was consumed with, am I going to end up blind? Like, how are things going to turn out for me? Other than the MS diagnosis, I had two very traumatic events happen in my life around the same time, in my family, and just, you know, it wasn't a fun time. I'm not gonna lie, and so just I didn't have any energy to dedicate to that, and so I really, you know, I haven't dated for the past couple of years. Like, it doesn't mean I haven't found people attractive or not, but just I definitely I definitely didn't want to get into any sort of relationship in the past 3 years. I wasn't in the, I don't have the mental capacity for it at all. Like, I couldn't. I couldn't. I didn't want to. It just, yeah. But now that I'm in a different headspace. Right now, I'm not dating at the moment because I am launching this channel. I am working full time. I am pursuing a bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm training for a semi-marathon. So I'm very busy at the moment. I don't really have too much time to date, and even like not just dating, for, you know, hanging out with friends and stuff. Like, I can spare one, or like I can see friends or family once or twice per week, but that's usually it. I don't really have too much time to dedicate to it right now, but once I've gotten over the launch of this channel and things I've gotten more into a routine, once I have more time to study, I feel like I will have the time, I will have the mental capacity for it. So I would like to start, you know, dating and meeting new people, like not just dating, but meeting new people this year. So, and new people. So yeah, in the past I've never actually used like a dating app or anything, because prior to that I used to, I mean, have partners that I all met in a rather organic, old-fashioned way, I would say. So I never really use dating apps. I don't know if I will use dating apps, but at least I am now getting to a place where I'm, you know, I'm open to dating, to meeting new people, to just, you know, meeting new people, adding new people to my friend circle, having new connections, whether they be romantic or friendships or whatever. Just, I am now open to meeting new people, and so I'm doing this year. I think, you know, after March, like, I'm giving myself till March to still focus on studies, YouTube. Like, I still have some stuff going on, but after March and after my 27th birthday, I will want to start maybe dating, and also finding ways to meet people. So, like, if you watched my fitness goals, I said I wanted to, you know, maybe join a class, like a Pilates class or something. Like, just, you know, join a class, like, do more activities, maybe travel with strangers. Like, I don't know, but just, you know, put myself out there more, and then just, you know, have that chance to build new connections. So yeah. And so finally, for pets, like I said, I have a cat, which I love. I'm not planning on getting any other pets anytime soon. So yeah, that's it for relationships. Not much going on, because like I said, I believe that it is an area where you can choose to put yourself out there. You can choose when you have more time to dedicate to relationships and how committed you want to be to those relationships, but it's one of the areas where I feel like it's the most out of your control, if I can say that. Like, yeah, you can make an effort to have the best relationships ever, to work on your relationships, to meet people, but ultimately it is a two-way street. And so I don't think you should be, well, at least in my case, I don't want to try and plan too much and just have too many expectations. It's somewhere where I feel like some of the best relationships I've had were with people that we just had this incredible connection. It was just random, so I don't feel like it's something that is worth focusing too much on and putting, not pressure, but like having too many expectations. Yeah, I think that's really the key word here, expectations. Like, I feel like it's an area where you should know, like, it's not to say that if you get into a romantic relationship you should accept anything, but you should have your limits. You should have your red lines, your orange lines, all of those lines, but you shouldn't have too many expectations, so that you can truly see people for who they are when you do meet them, and decide then if they're going to fit into your life or not. So that was it for relationships. That was it for my 2025 goal series. I hope that you enjoyed this video and this series. I'm going to be going more in depth about my goal setting framework in upcoming videos. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!